All right, Gritty Soldier here. Just got literally just walked in the door from the March for a Purpose 50 miles, and I'm about to take these boots off. And I'm not super excited about it, but I'm gonna film it. Hopefully it's not too gross, but I figured it'd be good for learning purposes later. So here we go. Let's see if I can set this up right. It's pretty good, right? All right, so this one, I think both of my, actually let's try this. This might be good. Yeah, this will look good. Still figuring out the GoPro, guys. Just give me a break. Okay. Yeah, and I kind of broke this a little bit, so. All right. Okay, yeah, that should work good. Okay, so I'm gonna take this one off first. This is the one I never wrapped up, but it kind of blew out on me. My heel felt like it blew out with the blister on the last 2 miles, which was kind of a bummer. I guess it's better than happening halfway through like my other foot. But I don't usually get a lot of blisters, but I think just 50 miles, man, just kind of got me. So I'm gonna attempt to loosen this boot up as much as possible, so I'm not rubbing on the raw skin itself that's on my heel. Because not only is it going to hurt, but it's just going to, make it even more wounded. So I'm going to do that. Try to get these boots as loose as possible. They don't get too loose. And now I'm going to try to take it off. Okay, it's not too bad. Oh, it hurts though. Oh, and it's raw. Oh yeah, that's a good smell. Okay, so I got that off. It wasn't too bad. All right, so now it's showtime. And I know my feet are not beautiful, but it's Gritty Soldier, That's just how it goes. You get a sneak peek of Gritty Soldier's feet. If you want to be like Gritty Soldier, this is the kind of feet you get to live with. My wife doesn't like it very much, but, it's just the way it is, so I take those off. Oh, okay, so that's not even too bad. That's not really that bad at all. It was a blister. Yeah, okay. So I'm actually super excited about that. Yeah, I knew my foot was starting to crack a little bit, but here. Okay, so this was the blister that popped. It's really not that bad. I thought it was going to be a little more raw. I'm happy to see that. That looks good. You can see where the blister is, where it popped. This is where it kind of gooed out. So yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. You can see a lot of rubbing on the feet, but for 50 miles, I'd say that held up pretty good, considering I never took the boot off, never changed my sock on this foot. Honestly, my toes are already pretty jacked up normally, but they look pretty good. That was already there. This nail missing, that was actually missing from another run, so they actually look pretty good. That's not so bad. I'm not too worried about that blister actually getting in the tub. It's gonna hurt, but that's not so bad. I thought it was worse. All right, so now for round 2. This one probably gonna be a little worse, only because it popped and it looked not great at about mile 28. I got to see it, and it already didn't look good. So I did change the sock on this one, and I wrapped it up with some medical tape. And I'm sure the tape's going to be all jacked up because it's just, it's hard to get that tape to sit just right when you're putting your boot back on. It likes to roll up on you. All right, so same thing with this. I'm going to try to get it as loose as I can. Woo, I am ripe. Oh my gosh. That's pretty gnarly, man. It smells like Ranger School. All right, try to get this off. Oh yeah, that hurts. I'm so weak. Okay, whew. Got that one off. Goodness. All right, so now I'm gonna do the same thing with the sock, and okay, awesome. So the tape actually held up pretty good. I didn't feel like it was moving around too much in there, so I guess it didn't. I guess it actually held up pretty good, so I did a pretty good job. I don't tape up my feet very often, to be honest. Actually, this is the first time I really went all out like this. Usually my feet held up pretty good. One of the most important things when you're working on your feet a lot, especially ruck marches, when you're wearing boots, you need to train your feet. I don't care if you're a stud, if you're not, if you can go for miles on end, if you're not training your feet with the right boots and the right socks, you're gonna mess up your feet. Okay, so that's just as important as training muscles and everything. For you Army guys out there, try to go to Ranger, try to get better at ruck marching, all these things. You really need to make sure your training your feet just the same. A good thing to do is, like, if you're a ruck runner, don't just ruck run, you know. Make sure you're walking too, because it uses different parts of the feet when you're walking as opposed to running, and vice versa. So that's a good way to train the feet. Now, always, like I've said before, always make sure, you know, you choose your boot and you stick to that boot. Okay, so that's some pretty sticky tape. I'm not going to take it off, because what it's going to do, I'm not going to take it off like this, because what it's going to do is it's going to rip the skin off of that blister that's already popped. And I don't really want to do that right now, because it's going to hurt like a bitch, and it's going to make the wound even worse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in the tub, and I'm going to let it soak, and then hopefully it will just kind of fall off. All right, so I'm going to go get in the tub and cleaned up. Oh, again, so this foot, it really doesn't look that bad. The only thing that's going to be bad, I know there's a blister here. I usually get blisters here because I do have like a small bunion here. So like I tend to get blisters here, and I can't really do anything about it. I have to get that fixed one day, but like not today, you know, because it's like a pretty bad surgery. It's not horrible, but it does hurt sometimes. I need to get better insoles because I kind of have flat feet. But all these, that was there. That's been there for a while. This bruise has been there. That looks like I have a little blister right here, but no big deal. I don't even feel it, you know. Ooh, it actually is pretty sore. But yeah, there's very soldier's feet, man. Pretty ugly, right? Don't worry, I was born with ugly feet. They're always ugly, but they look pretty good. We're gonna find out after the bath what this looks like, and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, post bath, Epsom salt bath. By the way, when you tear your body up, I highly advise using Epsom salt in your baths. Helps with the healing process, and it'll make you feel a lot better. But anyway, post bath, I was able to get the tape off pretty easily, and this is the result cleaned up now. But that is the result. Pretty gnarly. All right, got a little bit on the toe. Yeah, don't mean to gross you out or anything, but yeah, that's, well, maybe a little bit. But yeah, so that's it. And then this is the other healing end. Not too bad. Oh. But this one, yeah, this one had it pretty bad. So, I'm not a doctor. I was never a medic. I was never a doc. But in my experience, you want to... This is what I always do, right? I mean, I'm sure everybody has their own techniques, and somebody's probably going to be like, no, it's not what you do. But what I always do when I get blisters is I leave the blisters there and try to let them heal on their own. When you do that, they'll turn into like calluses, and it's going to toughen up your feet. So if you're training for something, and you get blisters while you're training, try to leave the blisters there. Try not to pop them. They're gonna heal up stronger if you do it right. Again, I'm sure somebody's disagreeing with me, but that's always how it is with me. Unfortunately, with these, right, like that's long gone. I'm not saving that. That's been popped, right? So what I'm gonna do is just let it clean it real good. It stung, but you clean it real good. Make sure you get everything out of it. If there's any gunk, and now it's just skin, layered skin, so some raw skin. I'm gonna let it dry out, and it'll heal on its own, right? Eventually, some of the skin will start to fall off. Don't like pool on the skin and stuff like that. Just kind of let it do everything on its own. Otherwise, you might like cause more problems. Okay, so just let the body take care of itself. Don't try to think that you know what you're doing. Just let it take care of itself, and you'll be stronger for it. As far as wrapping them up, like when you're doing your marches and stuff, you saw the tape I used is just basic medical tape. That seemed to work pretty good. You know, I didn't have a lot of issues after I taped it up. It hurt real bad before I taped it up, and then I taped it up, and it actually didn't. It wasn't that bad. It still kind of hurt, obviously, but it was better. And then the only real issue is getting it off when you get home. But if you do it like I did, you know, just leave it on there. If it's not coming off, go in the bath, let it soak up, and it will just sort of fall off. All right, so that's how you need to do it. Otherwise, you're going to end up pulling skin off. You don't want to do that. Let's see. Yeah, besides that, man, that's taking care of your feet 101 gritty soldier style. Again, I'm not an expert. I was never a doc. I've just got years of doing this, and this is what's always worked for me. So that's what I would advise. If you ever have any questions, just feel free to hit me up. I'll answer them for you if I wasn't clear enough. And yeah, stay gritty.